Oh, hey there. Hi. Have you ever wanted to stab a fool? Or how about give a pumpkin face to a poser? Blap blap. You know what I'm saying? Where my crinks at? My crinks, you know? The pink crips represent gang gang. To translate that previous statement for the whites, this trick involves a little bit of danger. You're gonna need to put the kids in the room for this one. But here's a card trick known as the card stab. The card stab trick. Luckily for this one, you don't gotta ruin your $15 deck of hipster playing cards. Your $25 deck of playing cards is safe, you virgin. So here's what happens. The deck of playing cards is mixed as best as a participant that wants to see a trick can, which is usually not well because of the thalidomide. They then select a playing card in compliance with COVID rules and memorize the card. In this case, the 3 of spades. The 3 of spades, a popular card among the swinger community because it involves 3, usually 2 whites and a black. But in this trick, it just represents the 3 of spades. That card is lost in the middle of the deck, never to be seen again. Look at this. The deck is very fairly shuffled. I personally don't have any control whatsoever over the location of that card. I don't have any control, and it's not going to matter because we're going to use my favorite thing, which is a napkin from McDonald's. This could be any napkin. However, we're going to use one specifically from McDonald's because I had a McDouble yesterday. I know, naughty, shouldn't have McDonald's, but I allowed myself some McDonald's because of the fact that I accomplished something yesterday in stabbing a hooker. So we're going to take the deck of playing cards and wrap it right here around the napkin, just like this. As fair could be. And here's where the element of danger comes in, my friends, because I'm going to stab this deck in the middle. I'm going to stab it like a snitch bitch. I'm going to stab the deck like it ratted out my boy, and now he's doing more time. Bitch. That's it. That's what happens. I stabbed it in the middle of the deck, which is an amazing feat all on its own. But more amazing would be, my friend, if I managed to stab it right there. Let me just split the deck exactly where I stabbed it, right there in the middle, on one card and one card alone. You wouldn't think that it would be, that's right, the 3 of spades, the card you selected. And of course, at this point, they could examine the 3, they could examine the deck, and they could also examine the inside of the knife via their stomach cavity. You know, you should examine the Pigcakee Magic Academy. $5 a month gets you 2 videos every single week going over card and coin stuff. You have access to, I believe, over 1,000 videos already because you immediately get access to 2 additional tutorials that I don't post anywhere else. So you can check that out, $5 a month. It's a bargain. It's literally a beer a month. Just check it out, help me out, and help yourself out. So I've always liked the idea of a card stab routine, but I didn't like the idea of penetrating my playing card. So this is a wonderful alternative that just involves any napkin. Now, unfortunately for me, I only have one, so I really have to get this the first time. I have to get this down the first time, so I have to make sure that you guys get it right without any cuts. So here you have a deck of playing cards, and you're going to have a participant select a card. Now, of course, this card is going to get controlled to the top because magicians have to be in control, right? Mom. So this card is placed in the middle of the deck. But of course, guess what, my friends? When I score it up, I'm not really scoring it up. My pinky's in there. My pinky's in there. Like I'm EDP, and it's a 13-year-old, right? Haha, online references. So that card is then shuffled to the top of the deck via Mahatma control, which is a very nice way of controlling that card to the top of the deck. All I'm doing is grabbing all the cards above the break and just shuffling them to the bottom. That's it. You see what that does, though? That places that card on top of the deck. This very nicely designed, slightly hermaphrodite jack of clubs, I guess. Very progressive deck there. So now this card is controlled to the top of the deck, and you introduce the napkin. You introduce the fapkin here to the equation, and all you're going to do is that as you take the napkin and place it over the deck, this is it. I'm turning the deck over secretly face up. That's the move. So now, when I wrap this around, guess what? They think that deck of cards is going in a face down fashion, but it's going face up, my friends. Of course, you want to make sure that your napkin isn't see-through. So you might want to go to a higher, classy establishment like a Burger King or a Wendy's, and not a McDonald's that apparently skimps on their paper towels. But anyways, you're going to wrap this around, and here is where you're going to introduce the knife. You're going to introduce the knife, or you could have introduced the knife to begin with to show them a trick, right? Because most people aren't going to want to see a trick, so you're going to have to get them to see a trick. And here, all you're going to do is very simply stab the knife anywhere you want in the middle of the deck. It doesn't matter where you stab it, because we are going to switch that location for the actual place where we stabbed the knife. So here's how we do this. I'm going to do this without the napkin. So we're stabbing the cards face up, just like this. Now what's going to happen is you're going to bring the deck like this to a vertical position, and you're going to split it where the actual knife has been inserted. But instead of taking the cards like this, which is going to prematurely show something that they shouldn't see, which is the card you actually stabbed it, we're actually going to give the deck one more flip. So we're going to flip this half one more time. So when you rip off the napkin, this is what they're exposed to. They're exposed to a face down half and a deck of playing cards with a knife being stabbed. So you could thumb this card off as the place where you stabbed the card as you go right there in the middle of the deck, one card and one card alone that I stabbed through the napkin blindly. And of course, that's going to be their card, the Jack of Clubs. So one more time, you're taking the knife, you're stabbing it into snitch, and then you're going to just hold the deck like this. You're going to split it where the knife is, but you're going to revolve this packet once so that now when they see it, this is what they're exposed to. You could thumb this card off, place this half on top, and then show the fact that you've managed to stab right there at the Jack of Clubs. So at speed, it just looks like this. We're going to wrap it around. Of course, I've turned the deck face up surreptitiously, my favorite stripper name. We're going to stab the deck somewhere in the middle. We're going to split it right where we stabbed it. And of course, we're going to revolve the deck once as we tear the napkin off, thumb that card off, take this on top, clean everything up, and flip that card to show that it's indeed the card they merely picked. Semper Fi, my friends. Semper Fi. What a fun trick, though. Right? What a fun trick that is, don't you think? I think it's a fun trick, and it involves a little bit of danger, which is my favorite part. People don't really implore the use of danger with card tricks, and this is one that has implied danger, because what if the trick goes wrong, right? What if you decide to snap midway through the trick? What if this is your chance to enact revenge on those that have harmed you? That's the trick. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys perform it. It's a fun one. Nice variation on the classic card stab routine. I've seen this done by absolutely everyone. First person I saw do this was Daryl Martinez. R.I.P. OG. He's one of the OGs. And he needs to rip in peace. But apart from that, thank you guys for watching the video. I appreciate it. Make sure to look at the description section below for the Pigcakee Card Academy. Check it out. Doesn't harm anyone. $5 a month helps me out, helps you out. You get access to a whole bunch of information. You get to really hone in on your card skills. I upload there very frequently, 5 times a week. I'm always uploading there. It's my full-time gig, so you should check it out. I don't know how to end this video. I usually don't. I tell a little bit of an anecdote, right? Things are going down in Cuba, just to give you a time frame as to when I uploaded this video. If you're watching it in the future. Things are going down, my friends, in Cuba. Typically, when it comes to things like this, there's a very popular restaurant down here called Versailles that the Cubans congregate to and usually smoke cigars, get coladas, which is a very, I would say, concentrated form of espresso, better than Italian, better than Turkish, that's for sure. Oh yeah, I love my ground coffee inside of my actual drink. Yeah, Maybe that comes from all the inbreeding, but it's definitely better than Turkish coffee. Cuban coladas is the crack that fuels our veins. But there's a massive protest taking place in Cuba. So that's happening right now. I think that's about it. I don't know. Biscuit.